It's barely 1 week after Justice Evelyn Anyadike of the Federal High Court Umuahia, Abia State, ordered the AGF to delete the Section 84, subsection 12 from the Electoral Act. Lawmakers in the Senate and House of Representatives have resolved to appeal the judgment. A National Assembly correspondent, Chokadisa, has more on the story.
Last Friday, a Federal High Court in Umuahia, Abia State, ordered the Attorney General of the Federation to immediately delete Section 84, subsection 12 of the amended Electoral Act. The section reads, "No political appointee at any level shall be voting as a delegate or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election." Members of the House are enraged by the controversial judgment as Katsina State Legislator Sada Soli brings it up under matters of privilege. He says the judgment breached his right as a lawmaker.
A court, a judge, somewhere, Mr. Speaker, is given that right to an executive appointee encroaching into the principles of separation of powers.
Others who spoke on the motion cautioned against dragging the National Assembly in the mud by usurping its functions.
In the Constitution, where there is separation of powers, and where we have been made by the provision of the Constitution for us to make laws, that somebody is trying to do our job.
The court should have made an order for the National Assembly to be joined before taking any action.
Members of this institution must rise against this aberration. We are not only lawmakers, we must be custodians of laws, and laws must have to be obeyed in this country.
I cannot sit here and allow the institution which I at this present time head and lead to be ridiculed under my watch.
Arising from debate on the matter, the House resolved to appeal the controversial judgment. It also called on Abubakar Malami to stay action on the execution of the judgment, while it agreed to petition the National Judicial Council on the matter. President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law in February on the condition that the National Assembly will expunge Section 84, subsection 12. But barely 1 week after, a Federal High Court sitting in Abuja barred the President, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the National Assembly from tampering with the law. Chokadisa, TVC News, Abuja.
We are staying with the fire outbreak in the Akpongwa axis of Lagos State, where traders badly affected by the fire which broke out there on Thursday are struggling to salvage what's left from the disaster. The fire incident destroyed shops and goods worth millions of naira. For now, Lagos State government immediately issued a 48-hour ultimatum to owners and occupants of makeshift or containerized shops under bridges across the state to quit such locations. On the same line, the federal government issued a 7-day ultimatum for traders to quit such locations across the country. The government says integrity tests will be carried out on the Akpongwa Bridge to ascertain the level of public safety. Let's cross live to TVC News correspondent Theophilus Ilama, who is at the location. Theophilus, what more do we know about this disaster?
Well, Ibrahim, from what we said early in the morning, like we told you earlier, people are here trying to remove what's left of their shops and all of that. You can see the smoke. Earlier in the day, we saw fire under the bridge from the rubble down there. Like you can see, if my cameraman has to pan, you can see the smoke coming in from under the bridge right there. It shows that there's still some bits and pieces of fire in different places right under the bridge. But Ibrahim, the thing is this, looking at this bridge as it is, like I told you earlier, serious work will be done by the government to ensure this bridge is put in order. Look at that. My cameraman, we have to just pan in front. This point of the bridge was not this opened this morning when we spoke, but at this point it is like the smoke is expanding it. Very heavy smoke expanding. If you go close to that place, you will feel the heat coming out from that hole there, and that's because of the situation under the bridge. You can understand what's happening under the bridge. The kind of smoke that's coming out from under the bridge is quite humongous and alarming. A lot has to be done as regards this, and so that's why a lot of people are bringing their goods out. You can see the place has been cordoned. No one can come in from the other side or go out from here. Everywhere has been cordoned here so as to ensure that nobody is harmed. Like you see, we're not going close to that place because we've been told not to get too close there. But for the sake of this live, we have to come here to show that the situation here with this, it's expanding every minute, and before you know it, it will get bigger than this as it is, Ibrahim. So looking at all of this, the place has been cordoned. Already officials are here, the police, the Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps, and every other emergency responder are here to ensure that no life is lost and danger is averted in this axis. All
right, Theophilus, I'm not sure whether the house, because yesterday we saw a bellow of smoke, rising up close to some houses, but there are some houses there. Did it affect any of those houses? And again, what are the people who are affected, saying? Yeah, Theophilus, I'm not sure whether you heard me the first time. I want to know whether some houses that are very close to the bridge are affected, or if any house is affected at all, because we saw the bellow of smoke, rising up, and the thickness of the bellows of smoke, and the people, the traders whose belongings or goods are affected, are they? What are they saying as well?
Well, Ibrahim, from everything that's happened here, it shows that buildings will be affected in this place. Now, look at, there are several buildings here that are directly close to the bridge. Just look at that building. Other buildings are here, other shops are here. So it's expected that there will be some eyes and ears on that, on those buildings as well by the government. Government will be looking at that angle because it's a disaster waiting to happen, as it says. If you see what's happening underneath this bridge, you understand what I am talking about. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Like the government has said, integrity tests will be done on this bridge, and I want to also assume that integrity tests will be done on buildings here to ascertain the strength. And of course, since the government has given occupants of the bridge 48 hours to evacuate their goods and leave, same might come for the people who stay close to the area. Same might happen for those who have businesses, have shops close to this area. Like you see on this Lagos Island axis, nobody has opened their shops. A lot of people who open like those, built that shop there, they are packing out their goods, preparing for the inevitable. So every building here will be really affected by this situation as it is.
All right, TVC News, Theophilus Ilama, keep close tabs on this for us. We'll definitely continue to get more update from you. Thank you. And in what seemed like a quick attempt to clear the air, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, says the deletion of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022 is still at work, or is still a work in progress, and is being considered as such. The AGF was fielding questions from State House correspondents when he made the clarification. According to him, while the possibility of appeal is not in doubt, government creators and the Law Reform Commission responsible for the codification and gazetting of laws are collaborating with the Office of the Attorney General to ensure that any addition made to the law is in line with the provisions of the law.
It is indeed a work in progress against the background of the fact that the Law Reform Commission is involved statutorily in the which is a ministry, a parastatal under the supervision of the Office of the Attorney General, is a party to the process of codification of the law. The government printers, which is saddled with the responsibility of gazetting our laws on the request of the Office of the Attorney General, is equally involved. And above all, as you rightly stated, the possibility of an appeal is equally there. So what I am saying in effect is deletion of Section 84, so Section 12 is a work in progress and is being considered as such.
After the latest developments within Nigeria's ruling party, ahead of the 26th National Convention of the All Progressives Congress, the party's governors say they will they will back whoever President Muhammad Buhari supports. The governors came up with this resolution Friday after meeting with President Buhari at the State House in Abuja, led by the chairman of the interim committee of the party and governor of Abia State, Mai Malabuni. The governor said they have straightened out decisions ahead of the convention. Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum and governor of Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu, told State House correspondents that President Buhari had last month indicated that he is in favor of the consensus mode for selecting candidates for the party's national positions.
Already stated our commitment to working together to ensure that the convention takes place on March 22nd, 2022. And then we agreed to support all the decisions that were taken by the caretaker committee, both acting as a working committee and acting with the donated powers given to it by the National Executive Committee. And indeed, the chairman of the caretaker, upon his return, also appreciated what the caretaker committee did and the decisions that were taken in his absence. Today, we all briefed Mr. President on that. Of course, included on that is the issue of distributing of political party offices to the respective zones and our support for Mr. President's endorsement of the candidate for the national.
Still talking about the APC National Convention, the FCT Police Command says it is implementing what it describes as a robust strategy to ensure the safety of lives and property before, during and after the National Convention scheduled to hold on Saturday. The strategy includes increased deployment and raids of black spots in Abuja. Sifonisian reports.
Preparations are gaining momentum at the venue, Eagle Square here, where the APC convention will be holding on Saturday. The stage is presently being erected, and we're told that security operatives and Mufti have been deployed in and around these premises. The FCT police have said that they have a robust strategy to ensure safety of life and property before, during, and after the convention.
In APC convention now, we are not new to it. We are activating from Friday to Saturday to Sunday. It's a 3 days movement we are doing to ensure safety before, during, and after the convention. That's what we are doing. We have mobilized robustly, we are deployed robustly to make sure everybody is safe.
We're also told that security operatives have been deployed to facilities where APC members and delegates would be lodging during and after the convention.
Every committee, just like the security committee, all the committees, all the leaders, all the delegates, members and stalwarts of APC are enthusiastic and jeering and working assiduously towards a successful national convention of the APC. And we want to assure you and assure Nigerians that APC as the biggest political party in Africa, we are coming off the convention stronger, more solid.
The whole hotels that they gave us, even the one they didn't give us, we have discovered that they have put in some of their supporters and friends and this. We are guarding the whole hotels. We are monitoring the whole hotel. We have raided a lot of shanties and miscreant areas in Abuja, especially black spots, to ensure that the area is safe for everybody. Because not only APC people that are in town, PDP people are equally in town. And the other parties are equally, some are doing their convention in different hotels.
The police are assuring that it should be cool and calm during and after the convention.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has formally declared his intention to contest the 2023 presidential election. Mr. Abubakar encouraged eligible voters to get their PVCs, votes, and also protect their votes against manipulation. Senior correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
This is not the first time Atiku Abubakar will declare his interest to contest in a presidential election. But this time it seems the dynamics have changed and he may face a stiffer opposition inside the People's Democratic Party. The debate over zoning of the presidency from the north to the south is dividing opinions inside the PDP, but it has not stopped the presidential race of Atiku Abubakar. He seems to be enjoying a swelling support from critical stakeholders in the party.
We have two options in 2023. Either we zone or we win. Out of zoning and out of winning, please choose one.
Now that Atiku has declared, I want to equally declare that we are 100% behind him.
The man of the moment, Atiku Abubakar, a founding member of the People's Democratic Party, says he is on a mission to rescue Nigeria. He says the election will be about fighting poverty, insecurity, inflation, and unemployment.
In the end, this campaign is not about you. It is about you. It is about the future of this country. Let our stories be told for generations to come that we are the ones that rescued Nigeria where it was but divided for further destruction.
Atiku Abubakar blamed the APC government and President Muhammadu Buhari for the current hardship citizens are facing. He says Nigerians should hold the government responsible for the rising insecurity and poverty. It is still a long walk to victory for former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. The next step will be to win the vote of his party and secure the presidential ticket. But the presidential election will be keenly contested as he may be against a formidable candidate of the incumbent All Progressives Congress. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons has built a makeshift school for children in the FCT IDP camp. The Learning Center, which has classes from nursery to class 3, provides accelerated studies to support the children academically. Moyo Thomas reports.
This is a newly built accelerated school for the internally displaced in the FCT. The Federal Commissioner, National Refugee Commission, is officially launching the Learning Center.
Going to be an Air Force soldier or a Navy soldier or an Army soldier?
She says this is the beginning as government has made provisions for a duplication of the effort across the country.
So we have a budgetary allocation to roll out transitional learning centers in camps. And this is the first one we're doing at the Wasa camp. We're going to, from the 2021 budget, we have the provision to do about 4 of them. And in the 2022 budget, we'll be able to expand the scope of this.
The teachers, according to the implementing consultants, were also carefully selected.
But of course, we know that with educational interventions, it comes with other things, like we have the feeding program, we have the wash facilities. So we're teaching them, in addition to their academics, we're teaching them life skills that they will need to be able to survive even outside of the camps.
The Learning Center currently has a capacity of 100 pupils, not enough to cover the population of the children in the camp. Some of the parents I interacted with say they have other children at home.
You don't pay school fees for the picking?
No.
You don't pay anything?
No pay anything.
No pay anything?
Food man are free.
Food free?
I get picking, one picking for my firstborn day there, but 2 the day for house. I get 3 children. Children, no school, no toilet, no hospitals. They are complaining that small disease that they affect for us. See toilet, no day.
The dilapidated structures they live in attest to the poor conditions they describe. Government says camps are temporary measures that are not to be encouraged, but the dignity of the internally displaced is paramount. Most of these children were born here in this camp, and this accelerated center is their first access to basic education, without which their future could have been very bleak. But then, to return to their homes is the ultimate goal. Moya Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
690 youths across riverine communities in Kwara State are currently undergoing training in various vocations. The training is organized by the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission to make them self-reliant. Ibrahim Alege reports.
Electric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPADEC, was established by the federal government to cater for the interest of power-producing states. The states are Kwara, Kogi, Benue, Niger, Plateau, and Kebbi. Tagged HYPADEC Youth Transformation Program, this is one of the programs designed by the Commission to cater for the interest of the youth in the 6 states. The 619 Kwara are among the first batch of 5,000 youths across the 6 states being trained in this regard.
There are so many programs looking for resources under HYPADEC. Programs of empowerment, programs that can also move the state forward. But our leaders insisted we must start with the youth. And we are, of course, very happy with the advice they gave us. And looking at your faces, we are sure you look committed.
This is with a view of reducing the number of teeming unemployed youths from member states of the Commission so that they become useful members of the society.
20% of the training slots is reserved for women, while 10% is reserved for the physically challenged. The beneficiaries are advised to give the training their best shot.
In HYPADEC, in new approach, we don't cut corners. He said it. You have to work and you have to earn. You may know your state coordinators. You may know the staff that are coming. There are other evaluators that you may not know that will jump to you from time to time. Therefore, make sure you put in your whole life.
I therefore call on the youth to make a very good use of the knowledge acquired from today's program and the subsequent training.
The selected youths are to be trained between 3 and 6 months in 35 different vocations. The essence is to make them self-reliant and be employers of labor instead of being employees. Ibrahim Malige, TVC News, Ilorin.
University of Maiduguri. And finally, on the midday news, U.S. President Joe Biden has joined fellow Western leaders in Brussels on Thursday for 3 summits on Russia's war in Ukraine. The meetings are coming 1 month after the invasion began. NATO, the G7 and the EU are all holding meetings in a display of unity rarely seen by the West. Mr. Biden will take part in all 3 meetings, and it's the first ever visit by U.S. President to an EU summit in Brussels. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is to appear by video link at all 3 summits. NATO's 30 presidents and prime ministers will hopefully be looking at the possibility of greater support for Ukraine and new troop deployment for Eastern allies. The aim will be to show solidarity to Kyiv, although the alliance has also been made clear it won't become more directly involved in the war, and President Zelensky's request for a no-fly zone over Ukraine has been unattended to.